Welcome to Success Path Academy. Following are the questions about stages of growth, metamorphosis, and reproduction. These questions cover life cycles, animal and plant development, metamorphosis, and basic concepts of reproduction. What is the first stage of a butterfly's life cycle? Answer: egg. What is the second stage of a butterfly's life cycle? Answer: larva, caterpillar. What is the third stage of a butterfly's life cycle? Answer: pupa, chrysalis. What is the last stage of a butterfly's life cycle? Answer: adult butterfly. What is the process of growing and changing called? Answer: development. What is the first stage of a frog's life cycle? Answer: egg. What is the second stage of a frog's life cycle? Answer: tadpole. What is the third stage of a frog's life cycle? Answer: tadpole with legs. What is the last stage of a frog's life cycle? Answer: adult frog. What do we call the young plant that grows from a seed? Answer: seedling. What is the first stage in a plant's life cycle? Answer: seed. What is the process called when a seed starts to grow? Answer: germination. What is the stage after seedling in a plant's life cycle? Answer: mature plant. What do mature plants produce? Answer: flowers or fruit. What do flowers produce? Answer: seeds. What is the life cycle? Answer: the stages an organism goes through from birth to death. What is the process of growing bigger called? Answer: growth. What is the process of changing shape or form called? Answer: development. What do we call animals that look like their parents when they are born? Answer: direct development. What do we call animals that change form as they grow? Answer: metamorphosis. What is metamorphosis? Answer: a process where an animal changes form during its life cycle. Which insect goes through complete metamorphosis? Answer: butterfly. Which insect goes through incomplete metamorphosis? Answer: grasshopper. What are the 4 stages of complete metamorphosis? Answer: egg, larva, pupa, adult. What are the 3 stages of incomplete metamorphosis? Answer: egg, nymph, adult. What is a larva? Answer: the young stage of insects that looks different from the adult. What is a pupa? Answer: the stage where the insect changes from larva to adult. What is a nymph? Answer: the young stage of insects that looks like a small adult. What is the process called when a caterpillar becomes a butterfly? Answer: metamorphosis. What is the hard shell around a pupa called? Answer: chrysalis. What is the larva of a butterfly called? Answer: caterpillar. What is the larva of a frog called? Answer: tadpole. Do mammals go through metamorphosis? Answer: no. Do frogs go through metamorphosis? Answer: yes. Do ladybugs go through metamorphosis? Answer: yes. What is the process called when an insect sheds its skin? Answer: molting. What is the adult stage of a butterfly called? Answer: imago. What is the main difference between complete and incomplete metamorphosis? Answer: complete has 4 stages, incomplete has 3. What is the first stage of incomplete metamorphosis? Answer: egg. What is the second stage of incomplete metamorphosis? Answer: nymph. What is the last stage of incomplete metamorphosis? Answer: adult. What is the main difference between a nymph and a larva? Answer: nymph looks like a small adult, larva looks very different. What is the process called when a tadpole becomes a frog? Answer, metamorphosis. What is the main purpose of metamorphosis? Answer, to help the organism grow and survive. What is an example of an animal that does not go through metamorphosis? Answer, dog. What is an example of an animal that does go through metamorphosis? Answer, butterfly. What is the main advantage of metamorphosis? Answer, reduces competition between young and adults. What is the stage called when a frog has legs but still has a tail? Answer, froglet. What is the main food for a tadpole? Answer, plants and algae. What is the main food for an adult frog? Answer, insects. What is reproduction? Answer, the process of making more living things. What is the male part of a flower called? Answer, stamen. What is the female part of a flower called? Answer, pistil. What is pollination? Answer, the transfer of pollen from the stamen to the pistil. What helps pollinate flowers? Answer, bees, butterflies, wind. What do seeds grow into? Answer, new plants. What is fertilization? Answer, when pollen joins with an egg to make a seed. What is a seed? Answer, a plant embryo with food and a protective coat. What is a fruit? Answer, the part of a plant that contains seeds. What is the process of spreading seeds called? Answer, seed dispersal. What are two ways seeds can be dispersed? Answer, by wind, water, or animals. What is the process called when a seed begins to grow? Answer, germination. What do animals need to reproduce? Answer, a mate, in most cases. What is the process called when animals lay eggs? Answer, oviparous reproduction. What is the process called when animals give birth to live young? Answer, viviparous reproduction. What is an example of an animal that lays eggs? Answer, chicken. What is an example of an animal that gives birth to live young? Answer, cat. What is the main purpose of reproduction? Answer, to continue the species. What is the process called when a plant makes seeds without flowers? Answer, spore reproduction. What is an example of a plant that reproduces with spores? Answer, fern. What is an example of a plant that reproduces with seeds? Answer, apple tree. What is the main difference between seeds and spores? Answer, seeds have food for the baby plant, spores do not. What is the baby plant inside a seed called? Answer, embryo. What is the food supply in a seed called? Answer, cotyledon. What is the protective covering of a seed called? Answer, seed coat. What is the process called when a sperm joins with an egg? Answer, fertilization. What is the first stage of human growth? Answer, baby. What is the second stage of human growth? Answer, child. What is the third stage of human growth? Answer, teenager. What is the fourth stage of human growth? Answer, adult. What is the life cycle of a chicken? Answer, egg, chick, adult chicken. What is the life cycle of a plant? Answer, seed, seedling, mature plant, flower, seed. What is the life cycle of a fish? Answer, egg, larva, juvenile, adult. What is the life cycle of a grasshopper? Answer, egg, nymph, adult. What is the life cycle of a mosquito? Answer, egg, larva, pupa, adult. What is the life cycle of a turtle? Answer, egg, hatchling, juvenile, adult. What is the life cycle of a sunflower? Answer: seed, seedling, mature plant, flower, seed. What is the life cycle of a frog? Answer: egg, tadpole, froglet, adult frog. What is the life cycle of a bee? Answer: egg, larva, pupa, adult bee. What is the life cycle of a dragonfly? Answer: egg, nymph, adult. What is the life cycle of a mushroom? Answer: spore, hyphae, mature mushroom, spore. What is the life cycle of a snake? Answer: egg, hatchling, juvenile, adult. What is the life cycle of a rabbit? Answer: baby, young rabbit, adult rabbit. What is the life cycle of a pine tree? Answer: seed, seedling, mature tree, cone, seed. What is the life cycle of a butterfly? Answer: egg, larva, pupa, adult. What is the life cycle of a dog? Answer: puppy, adult dog. What is the life cycle of a cat? Answer: kitten, adult cat. What is the life cycle of a duck? Answer: egg, duckling, adult duck. What is the life cycle of a spider? Answer: egg, spiderling, adult spider. Why is it important to learn about life cycles? Answer: to understand how living things grow, change, and reproduce.